our Terran player on the right side of Metropolis from the team StarTale. Been in Codes for so long. May face being out of the GSL entirely. His ID is StarTale Virus.
And his opponent is starting to the bottom of the map. In the blue, we have the TSL player. Once again, a Zerg, and this guy, he has been really good for a long time now, but this might be his time to shine.
It may be. Of course, his ID is TSL Shine. That's why Kalar is making that laugh. I approve of your joke. It was good.
It was Captain Obvious striking again.
Well, we are close by air, which can make for Terran players able to do a little bit more effective drops. It's less risky to drop in this case because you can send your units home faster if you really need them. But usually Terrans, when they send a drop out, the drop never goes home. If you're a Marine or a Marauder selected for drop, you are probably, even if you drop and kill a structure and you pick up, he's not going to send that medevac home. He's just going to keep it in the corner until he drops in again. You're just eventually going to get killed unless you survive until the end of the game. Remember that Hero Marauder?
Yes. How many was that?
I don't know.
30?
30 kills or something.
25? 28?
It was insane.
Something along those lines. It was really crazy.
Well, we see Command Center first, and he's going to have to pull that second SCV down here because otherwise he will be denied. Nice micro on the drone.
What is Shine going to do right now? We've seen a couple of TSL Zergs going for the double hatch before pool when they scout this this build, and this seems to be exactly what Shine is going to do here as well. And it just shows that we have... well, of course the TSL Zergs are really talking to each other. They try to develop strategies together in order to... The TSL players in general, it's a little bit like a family, and those guys stick together so close, and they always talk about builds and how to improve them. And you can really see that Shine is using the same strategies, like, or at least similar openings like Symbol,
you
like
can see
Hyun, for example.
Yeah, you can see the influence of his teammate's style on how he plays here. And that's actually really cool to see when you see that kind of play. Like, for example, you can see that Ace and Parting have some similar ways of playing, as well as Squirtle, the three that StarTale process kind of have.
They still have some characteristics that are really individual, but it's just it's just like this general idea how they approach a certain matchup that is very often similar.
Yeah, and for example, we saw Naniwa doing the double gas before core in PvP, and he was saying with StarTale at the time, then shortly afterwards we see Squirtle doing this in PvP as well.
Or another example is the thing that Naniwa and Sasa both do, and that we see other pros players in StarTale do as well, having two probes in gas early on. This is basically exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and yeah, sure, that's a style that develops now and it's used worldwide, but they were the first people to do it, and it's very clear that that influence is there. And I like to see that. That really means teams are working together, and it's not just like some rumor that if you live in a team house with somebody that you're going to talk about strategies. That actually does happen. And 3 Queens going to pop out around the same time as each other for Shine. Everything lining up perfectly for his builder. Virus cutting a lot of corners, only making 2 Marines for the reactor. Going straight into double gas right after his double command center, and he's even going to move out with his Marines, put a little bit of pressure on the watchtower here. Like I said, cutting every corner. He's even making that 3rd command center now. He's got a bunker up, but if he loses these Marines for any reason, he could be very vulnerable to pressure.
I feel that Zerg versus Terran at this point is really how greedy can you actually get? How greedy can you open? A lot of Terran players start with the command center first these days, Zerg counter by double hatch into a pool, and I feel that at some point we might even see Terran players getting even greedier than they do right now, and then Zergs will probably fall back to early pools again.
We saw
against Terran, which is really uncommon, but I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah, we saw Nest T actually against Supernova in Code S go for a very early pool, pull his drones as well against a command center first, and just won the game.
Lenok back then, when he played against Alive, and I think, was it Daybreak where he used the 6 pool?
I think it probably was. It's a 2-player map. I'm pretty sure it was Daybreak.
I think it was Daybreak. So these are builds that you can actually just work with. They will occasionally work. You want to have some kind of all-inner strategies in your repertoire that you can use. We just casted a game where we saw live with not only a 6-pull against Protoss, but at the same time also the first game with this Nidus use. That was really well done, and this is exactly what you need to do. You need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Virus has gone up to his 4 gases, by the way. He's getting stem, he's adding his double E-base around the 7:30-minute mark. Pretty normal when you have all 4 gas and you've gone for Command Center first to have your E-base that fast. You can see that as his E-base finished, the Evolution Chambers for Shine are started. So he's going to be way ahead in upgrades as long as he hits his timings normally and actually makes sure to get his armory up. And there's an attack actually occurring at the 3rd base with Hellions, but they are shut down by the Queens. If he wanted to, he could have run by there, but he decided not to.
Yeah, we just spotted it on the minimap.
Yeah, I mean, that could have actually been disastrous. You guys have seen those Hellions now, but he could have killed so many drones if he decided to commit, but he decided to play safer instead, which does make sense.
So far, we don't have any drone kills whatsoever, and once more, the creep spread really shining here for Shine. That's something that all the TSL Zergs basically do, and it's frustrating to... I mean, we pointed out every single time that a Zerg player is doing it well, but it's still frustrating to me a little bit that there are so many out there that don't really put an emphasis on the creep spread itself, because it just helps you so much. And if you talk to like really top tier Zergs, this is the one thing that they will always point out, how important it is, because it does not only give you that speed advantage for your units, but also, of course, the vision. And early detection in a game of StarCraft 2 is all there is to it. If you know that an attack is coming, you will be able to prepare. If there's a drop, if there's a run by, and you know early on that's going to happen, then you can always make sure that the damage that you will take is not so significant that you throw back in the game.
You're right.
It's just really, really important.
It's important, and you know, a famous commentator by the idea of Artosis once said, and you know, many commentators coin this phrase now, is that StarCraft is a game of limited information. And the most information that you can get, I mean, the more information you can get, the better you can prepare, and that's why scouting is so important. And you know, sometimes for this reason, if you try to cut scouting out, you get a little bit ahead, but it's risky, and it's just something about StarCraft and all real-time strategy games that I really like. Just this lack of information.
Shine is now opting for a build. We will see Mutalisk on this map, and of course also Zergling Baneling as a composition. The one question that I have is if he plans to transition out of it later on, or if he's going to stick with this build. That is something that Lucky did recently in the GSTL. That is something that Hyun is really famous for, and these are builds that develop right now. You see July doing it as well.
Yes.
And some of those players are really trying to make it work and just try to better at their opponent's defense until either they break or they die. And at the same time, there's also the build where you just use it and you transition out of it as well. And with the 4th base being taken by Shine, it certainly looks to me like he is trying to make this happen, but at the same time giving himself the opportunity to transition out of it later on.
An interesting scan here, by the way, for Virus. He will actually spot the Spire, but it's a little bit too late. He's already got some turrets going up. He's going to want more than what he's had, though, against the amount of Muse he's about to face. He's got 12 out already, 3 more coming in. And see the turret here, that one a little bit late. Does not decide to commit to killing that turret, but I like this because now he can actually pick away at these add-ons if he wants to. He's, interestingly enough, okay, there he goes, going for that add-on. I was going to say, should be going for add-ons rather than the actual barracks itself. Double drop coming around the left side, and this is a pretty bold move with Mutas on the map, but since he knows where they are, he can get away with this.
And not only get away with it, but I don't think that Shine actually knows about it. He has one Overlord, but that was not in a position where he was able to spot those medivacs. So this will hit Shine without knowing about it at all. The Overlord to the top left, a little bit mispositioned. And now the drop is moving in on the 4th base. It is going to die. Maybe not die. He still can cancel it.
Yeah,
if he's fast enough.
He can cancel it if he's fast enough because it's got a few seconds left and does not cancel, and it will die.
Yeah, it will definitely die. Those lings are a little bit too late. He focuses it down. The 4th is gone, and now those Mulas can try to chase it. There's the rest of them. The Zergling is running onto the high plateau in order to make sure that those Marines are not able to manually target the Mutalisk. And here's the transition. Here's the transition for him. Another drop to the bottom right, though, at the main base. Here come a few units trying to snipe the mineral line, not able to do it. Here come the Zerglings. They currently move in. Now we have it on screen as well. The Mutalisks are able to kill both Medivacs.
He killed very little with that.
Exactly.
2 workers in total, and this is a bit questionable. When this many mutas are out,
double infestation pit.
Oh, that is a mistake. But I guess, you know, against potential drop play later on, it could be useful. But I think it's a mistake to double drop when there are this many mutas out. He got nothing with that. He lost a lot of units, and now he has to be on the defensive. The Mutalisk count is still remaining at 18.
It's a matter of position as well. With the drop to the left, you know that the Mutalisk will try to shut down those 2 drop ships, so you can send them over, especially in close position. It's an option that you have, but it's a little bit risky. If there's another flock of Mutalisks coming out of the X just a few seconds before the drop hits, and you already spot, your opponent already spotted if the Overlords, you are in trouble. But here comes the attack that we've been waiting for. Zerglings, Banelings, and the Mutalisk trying to go in here, but Virus has too many bio units. So far, he's playing a very nice game, very strategic. He has the sensor towers as well, but he is struggling a little bit with. Does he have enough Marines? It certainly looks like he does.
Yeah, just barely. With another round of Lings, he would have been in trouble, and this round of Lings is too small.
He has great upgrades. He's already in 2-2, therefore the upgrade advantage for Virus. And now being on 3 bases with the option of taking a 4th, he is in a very comfortable position. This worked very well for him.
Yeah, that was a great trade. Now he takes a supply lead, and he doesn't have as aggressive of a position as he once did to attack. But Shine is going to be playing a little bit scared right now as he's trying to get upgrades out while teching and getting another base when he knows his opponent's army is better than his at this moment in time. A lot of those Marines got very low in health, but since they did not die, now they're all back at full because of those Medivacs. So, you know, the term Glass Cannon is, of course, refers to a unit that has low hit points but high damage output, and that's what the Marine is, essentially. And since he didn't kill those Marines, it ended up being a bad trade, and the DPS still remains. And he's got a really tough army, and Virus actually has the opportunity to push out here, and I think he's going to do it.
Shine has taken the 4th, is taking the 5th right now. He misplaced the Overlord a little bit, as you pointed out earlier, so he was not able to spread creep and delay this expansion. He's trying to move in now with the Mutalisk to take down a few of those SCVs, but the Marines for Virus are in position, and with the Planetary being set up and the missile turrets built, this is a great position for Virus. But once again, we have a Nidus network, and if he is able to set a Nidus up in the main base, I don't think that he will be able to do it, but that would be an awesome position for him to be in. Or take a base on one of the islands.
I think the Nidus idea is really cool because now he can see these units moving across onto his creep. He's forcing siege ups early, and then he can use the Nidus to push his opponent back, scare him to turn around.
Oh, the Mutalisk catch both drops. Wow, brilliant. Takes down both of them. Virus obviously not too happy about it. Double starport coming on for the Terran player. We have the Nidus network in position. He's trying to take down this 4th base, but this is not going to be an easy task with the missile turret set up, the Planetary, and the Terran player moving out.
No Infestors, by the way. 2 of them just now being started, but if he had Infestors in that Nidus, he could have fungled these SCVs a lot easier. This is a Planetary now, so he is going to be able to maybe get some SCV kills. Meanwhile, well, here we're actually going to get a shot of it. Boom! Kills a ton of SCVs. Does not get the Planetary, however.
Oh, no.
Well,
no.
Not quite.
With the repair of the SCV, if he repairs, no, not quite. But the middle of the map, that is where the action currently takes place, because suddenly there is Virus moving out, doing his damage, trying to force his opponent back, killing the Nidus probably as well. And here come the Mutalisks trying to go in here. The first 3 Brood Lords are morphing. We have Zerglings as reinforcements.
Yeah, this is scary. He's going to get the Nidus, but there's just not enough units yet for Shine. They're on the way. They're in the mail. The Broodlords are not done quite yet. And the splitting for Virus is so carefully done that he can't really attack into this, so he has to wait. And all the Lings coming and taking some extra hit, but here come the Broodlords.
And that's the big problem that he has. There are no Vikings on the map with the Broodlords in the picture. Suddenly things are starting to turn. And the Planetary Fortress, it actually died. It burned down. It was at 350 hit points, and it did not repair it at all. And here comes the push out by Shine. If he crushes this attack, then he's suddenly on 5 bases against 3.
Yeah, you're right, and the few more Marines coming in, he doesn't really have enough support for his Broodlords. He's trying to use the Overlords actually to really hide the numbers of his units as well as to spread creep and distract the Marines, and it looks like it's going to be enough. Enough Zerglings come out here. He's going to chase Virus back, and you're right. It's only 3 bases now. He's getting Corvid Reactor and Seeker Missile for Ravens that he's switching to. He's making 4 Vikings at a time. He's going into that air style we have seen in the late game. This is a pretty normal transition for Terrans these days, but this is a pretty good position for Shine. As long as he sees this air transition coming, then he can prepare for it.
It's a great position for him to be in. We have once again creep being spread. This is the key thing here. Even though Virus pushed his creep back, he just placed down a few additional creep tumors. He's going for a different composition that is completely centered around Infestors. He sets the Nidus network up once more, and right now the position that he's in is actually awesome. A 4th base trying to be taken by Virus. He is ahead in overall supply, but just the upgrades that Shine already has and all those techs that he has available to himself, the 5 bases that he's on, this enables him to go in whatever direction he wants to go. He can build any unit composition right now. He has the upgrades as well. He has a lot of options here. Virus is still in a decent position to take this game, but he depends a little bit on Shine giving him the chance to set up this 4th base to get the economy again.
Yeah, you're right. And, you know, the Nidus was cool. He got shut down. He lost like 8 Muse at the top of the map. Is that even really a big deal with how many bases he has? And the switch he's making, it's not a huge deal, but he no longer has the Mutalisk to stop drops anymore. So that's something that's a little bit scary. He forces a scan here, using Burrow actually very well, and actually left that Zergling there. That was a bit of a mistake. But the drops have started again because he is ready. He's aware. Another Nidus goes down, and this time he may in fact have Infestors. He's dropping Zerglings in here first. But if he uses Infestors, he can trap the units on the ramp, but...
Ah, the Nidus dies. Wow, that was really close. Those Marines, they certainly gave their life for this Nidus kill.
Yeah.
That was the last shot out of that MG.
Yeah, you're right. And he didn't get the Infestors out with that. The Overlords are being sniped by the crazy amount of Vikings. Meanwhile, we have some drop play here, but it is shut down. The scary part, though, is that, yeah, he's killing a bunch of Overlords, but now he's shown his hand. And Shine is already making Ultruis exclusively for this reason. He knows that his opponent is making so many of these Vikings. He's also shown the Ravens. But even so, even if you know this and you try to go Ultruis heavy, you have to make sure you have enough Infestors as well for the Marines, and you have to be able to fungal those Ravens, because even with a huge Viking count, this air style is very, very strong.
Indeed it is. With the Seeker missiles and all those Ravens, you have to get a few very good fungals in order to take them down. If you don't go for some kind of air composition that is centered around Corruptors to take down the Vikings and the Ravens. He's going in with the Broodlords once again. He's aware that they will be sniped, but he's just trying to lead the charge with the Broodlings. And here we go. The Fungals, they hit home. He needs to be careful with his Infestors, though. A lot of the Infestors already dead, but here come the Fungals, and he can take down most of those Vikings now if he chain Fungals, and he does. He's trying to do exactly this. Kills every single Viking except for the 2 that are still alive. And, well, with the Ravens gone and Virus dropping down to 120 supply, things are certainly looking bright for Shine.
Oh, they certainly are, man.
A lot of damage here. This entire army just was worth so much, and Virus clustered most of the units up. The Fungals hit home. The Broodlords with the Broodlings made sure that those siege tanks were in a bit of a tough spot, did not get the first few shots off into the Baneling cluster. So very, very well done by Shine.
It was the best way for him to engage, you know? It was the best possible way for him to attack that location, using the Broodlings to force the tanks to be a bit confused. Then even though he tried to target his siege tanks, he wasn't able to do everything, and Shine's actually just going to run by this entire force. Sitting his Banelings over, I think he may right-click on the planetary, but 2 Seeker missiles! Oh!
Well split, though.
Yeah,
a nice split, and as soon as this planetary is dead, but it actually survives, doesn't it? The planetary is still alive. He did not send the last few Banelings over there to take it down. And this might prove to be a problem. Shine's attack was centered around the idea to take down this planetary. That was the one thing that he had to do.
But at the same time, he did kill a ton of Virus' Marines, because Virus was focused on doing this drop here in the center, as well as dealing with those Banelings and repairing the planetary. So in the end, yeah, it could have been a lot better, and it definitely was not ideal, but he's still up 70 supply here. He's rebuilding his Infestors, using +2 Carapace, and that's just because he knows that he can make a Broodlord switch if he needs to.
He has to kill it, though. This is the one lifeline that Virus currently has. It is the one thing that keeps him in the game. He does not have any additional income. All of his bases are mined out. This is the only thing he has. As soon as this base is gone, Shine will be in the perfect position. He has still 2 mining bases. Actually, he has 3 right now, as he was able to save this base that we just saw being dropped. But now he has to take this one planetary apart. If he's able to do it, he's in a great spot. But if not, Virus has still a chance to just claw his way back into this game.
Yeah, I agree. Look at this choice to make Banelings here. Yeah, they've been seen, but just a few Marines and Vikings are not going to be the answer to this. Drop gets shut down over here on the left side. But what's he going to do? Drop auto turrets on these Banelings? Well, maybe, but here we go. The Marines are ready to split, and this could have been so much better executed. What a waste of resources there.
And this is exactly the problem. If Shine overcommits too much to taking down this planetary and is never able to actually kill it, then he might fall back in the game once again. He needs to... I don't know.
I would like to see Infestors in that Nidus. You know what I'm saying? Because then you can control the ramp with Fungals, and you can fungal the SCVs from that location as well.
I can fully understand him, though. He had this command center, this planetary, already down in the red, and he thought, okay, well, that's enough. So he used those Banelings to take down a few of the Marines instead of just rolling the Banelings into the planetary early on. Then he realizes, well, I didn't kill it. I have to do something now. So he panics a little bit and really tries to send those Banelings over there. They get taken down by the Marines, as we just saw on the ramp. So if he needs to calm himself down right now, and he needs to be like, okay, I'm still way ahead of my opponent, but I have to wait until I have a decent army composition again, and then I attack.
Yeah, and he's going to do just that right now. Coming in with the Fungals coming down. Secret Missiles go, but they are well split against... Oh, he messes up and loses one Infestor, but look at this. Shine just has so much. The Ultras continue to charge through, and he's going to drop some Infestor Terrans on top of those tanks, but it does not look like he's actually going to be able to finish this off.
But the planetary is something that he cannot attack right now, and this is exactly what we talked earlier. Shine is attacking over and over again, but he's trading, and he's not trading too bad, but the problem is that Virus is more cost efficient than he is, because he has the defender's advantage.
Right.
He's sieged up with a siege tank. He is in the position that he can just wait for Shine to attack him, and that is turning out to be more and more problematic.
We do have the supplies almost like consistently after these battles. 170 for Shine versus 120 for Virus. The battle ends. We have this again. More drop play, really frustrating. He's not able to hold that center base that he wants up at the top left. But I really... the big concern now is no longer the planetary. The planetary is good defensively, has 42 kills, but he took another base at the top where the minerals are lasting much longer.
A draw play in the main base right now. I have to say that I love how Virus is playing this. Virus is really...
He's being
aware,
patient, you know?
Yeah, exactly. He's aware of the situation that he's in. He started a few attacks that were not as successful as he'd hoped for, but right now he knows that he has to play defensive and that he can wear Shine down.
Yeah, and he's trying to do just that. His supply is now nearing max, and when he does have that max, he can attack again. But look at this. This is a scary situation. The planetary is being repaired. It's not going to last this time, though. And he's killed all the SCVs at the top expansion as well.
The SCV count is
16.
down to 16 indeed. It's getting scary for Virus. Even though... and I have to say that Shine played this time, he played it a lot better because he dropped in the main base. It was more of a positional drop, and he forced his opponent to either defend his main or defend his bases to the left. And Virus was kind of hesitating. He tried to send a few units over to the right to defend his main base, and he did, but at the same time Shine hit the 5th base and the 4th, so that was really, really well done. He just spreads out Virus. He knows that Virus has not as many units as he does, so he tries to make the best of it and play his cards really well here.
And yeah, so far he's playing them well. His Marine's a little bit low on hit points as he only has 4 medevacs, and not all of them are with his army. He's only got 2 with them right now. And look at this, he's going to seize this opportunity. The Banelings, though, coming from the back, not hitting as many Marines as they could have, but all the tanks are gone now.
Once again, no Infestors. The tanks are gone, though, as you already said, and Virus is down to 65 supply against 166. It certainly looks like Shine is able to pull this off, even without the Infestors for the Fungal in this big fight that we just saw. He's looking really good here. We already have the Ultralisk taking apart the last few SCVs. He's down to 7 now.
The
Virus,
Ultralisk
that
is an assassin, man. That's what his rank is. But I can't imagine an Ultralisk assassin. He like goes up
Not
there
really.
and he kills like one SCV at a time. And that's the type of Ultralisk assassin we have. But Virus down to 46 supply. He may just be done here. Shine may just continue the trend and 2-0 him. This is definitely our closest series by far, but this is just too much.
Shine is showing his skill here, and even though Virus is a very strong Terran player, he's struggling a little bit with a few of those attacks earlier on. Did not work as he planned them. He did not kill too much. In the end, he was playing really nice defensive game against Shine, but he was already too far behind, and Shine never gave him the opportunity to actually get back into the game.
Yep, GG calls Virus, and that makes our fourth 2-0 today, and Virus is out of the GSL. Kind of hard to believe. You know, I mean, I thought Shine was the favorite going to this based on how well he's been playing recently, but it's just, as someone who's been following the GSL since the first open season, to have Virus out of the GSL is actually insane.
Our two Terrans not able to advance to the next round. We have 2 Protoss player and 2 Zerg advancing with Life and Shine, 2 Zergs and Oz and Killer being the 2 Protoss. So we have a quick look at our evening matches. They start in roughly 3 hours. We will have a Live versus 1st July against Yoda, Lenok versus Tails, great match, and Polt against Extreme.
Yeah, this should be really, really sick. I mean, the matches we had today were already really exciting, but it gets even better later. I'm looking forward to actually all 4 of those. I would say maybe Lenok versus Tails is the most exciting, but I mean, that's just too hard to say. July making an appearance again, of course, and Yoda reappearing from Code B. I don't know. I'm just going to have to wait and find out, I guess. So we will see you guys in about 3 hours' time. Make sure to tell all your friends it's not the only match for today. Tell your friends to check out the VODs as well. And last but not least, follow GOM TV on Twitter. Go to Facebook. Go and check out Global GOM TV. Like that page. You can follow us on Twitter at Caldor and at ProxyWolf. Please do that. Tweet at us anything you want. And we'll read it, because I read everything. I'm pretty sure you do too. And that's it. That's going to wrap it up for our early session. See you guys later for the 3-2 matches.
Bye-bye.